Hey, coming up, how to be intentional and take control of your life on this tariff-free Mornings in a Lab with Keith. Welcome to Mornings in a Lab where excuse
when something negative comes up.
Building muscle, improving blood flow.
Nobody is expecting, John.
If the lady's saying that, you're just
It's a super
be entertained by fun over here.
How have I slept? Has my sleep been good? Is that it?
Hey, there we go. No echo this morning. Hey, baby. You got Mornings in a Lab with Keith and friends. The only morning show to help you guys get going. This is a tariff-free show. So while we are streaming this broadcast all around the planet to all of our friends in America and all of our friends in Canada, I promise you there's no tariffs. Nope. You're not going to be taxed an extra 25%, an extra 10%, an extra 15% for listening to this show. No, it's just not going to happen. Nope. We are all about love and kindness here on Mornings in a Lab with Keith and friends. You got myself, Keith Bilous. You got John Anderson over there. You got C. Marty Fit coming in over there. And you got producer Jimmy on the buttons. He's making sure we all look good, sound good, and we don't have an echo. We had a little echo this morning. I'm going to get that sorted out. Hey, we're still trying to figure shit out. For those of you that don't know the behind the scenes, there's lots of buttons, lots of screens, a lot happening on the show. And oh, by the way, we do like to drop an expletive deleted. Is that what it's called? Every now and then on the show. So if you got children, I would invite you to put the headphones on or walk them out of the room. Or alternatively, you could just tell them that they're going to be introduced to some new words in the dictionary today that might start with an F, an S, a B, an L, whatever, some bad words that they might be introduced to along the way. So I would encourage you to do something about what might happen over the next 60 to 75 minutes on the show. Hey, we're going to talk about how to be intentional as we get through the show today and take control of your life. Yeah, true story, as everybody likes to know. I got merchandise coming out with true story on it. The reality is today's a day where we probably want to be a little more intentional, especially us Canadians and Americans who wake up to a brand new world of everything is going to cost a lot, much more money for all of us because we have this wonderful leadership situation happening in our wonderful continent where everybody's in a pissing match. Yep. I want your stuff, you want my stuff, but you got to pay me 25% more. So that's just the reality of it, and we're going to have some fun with it this morning on the show. Jimmy, let's bring in the young man, John Anderson. John Anderson, how are you this morning, my friend?
What's up, brother? How are you?
I'm fantastic. No complaints. Just waking up to the sounds of the world today, the world that we live in.
Excuse me, waking up to my dry cough as well. Forgive me. I'm trying to get this thing to go away.
Yes, nation. And it doesn't help that Mr. Anderson likes to puff on the old cigar at 2 o'clock in the morning, as so that
actually makes my throat feel better. The dry throat is a combination of still not feeling totally up to speed, but what I did this morning, I was like, you know what? I need an extra bump today, so I put on that one on Terry's the stair mill, and I put that fucker on level 10.
Oh,
I gutted it out for fucking 10 minutes to the point where my throat was so fucking swollen. And so, you know, when you push it so hard, your throat is burned. I had the full burned throat.
Like you were going like super fast, like just fucking going hard.
Like fucking like legs burn. My legs actually started to cramp up afterwards. I was like, I need an ass kicking this morning.
Yeah.
And that's, I was like, well, what's the fastest way I know to do it? That's it.
Oh man. Good morning, Jeremy Cunningham. I see you there in the comments. Good to see you here first thing in the morning as you're kicking off the show with us this morning as well. You know, Johnny, that gauntlet. No, it's not called. What's it called?
That's it. The gauntlet.
Yeah, gauntlet. For those that don't know, it's essentially a never-ending escalator that can go as fast as you want it to go. It's
Yeah.
got some rails on
Like a set of stairs that's on a track. So your foot's not in the same spot. You actually have to negotiate a new step every fucking time.
Your foot has to negotiate a new step every single time. Yeah, and if you don't,
which makes a big difference when you're going that fast.
I was just gonna say, because if you don't, you're fucking done, man.
Oh, dude.
Your knees are
you miss one, it'll spit you right off the back, dude. You're talking, you'll get the straight up the knee shin, the shin burn, because you'll hit the step with your shin as you slide off the thing.
So here's what I like about it, brother, is that today's main topic is about how to be intentional and take control of your life. And today you're like, I'm feeling kind of crappy. The best way for me to go about this, and I'll tell you right now, brother, you've been 9 days in this thing here. Today you sound much better than you did last Monday. Today you sound much better than you did last Wednesday. And even when you and I connected yesterday, I can tell you're on the upside of this thing. But I love this fact that you said to yourself today, the best way I can be intentional, the best way I can take control of my moment right now is to go crush 10 minutes on the gauntlet. Like,
you know what I did too, is I didn't get on there think I'm gonna do 10 minutes on level 10. I was like, I'm gonna do 1 minute on level 10, see how I feel.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Let's go to 2. By the time I got to 5, I'm like, you can do this. But if I climbed on that thing thinking, are you going to do 10 minutes of level 10? I might not have gone on the son of a bitch. Because my rebound this morning, that thing was like giving a fucking whale a tic tac. It wasn't even sniffing the situation.
When you we got Amy Riner in the comments this morning, Johnny, and happy to hear today and hope you can get me out of this life funk. The news, the weather, the vibe, my bad back, my cold. How much complaining can someone do? Well, Amy, let me tell you, my friend, I'm up here just north of the border, and everything is now well. So, Johnny, I wake up today, my Canadian dollar versus the American dollar, 50 cents.
Hold on. What? Say that? That's how much it fell? What percentage did it fall?
Right now, yesterday I went to it was $1.47. It's basically 50 cents on the dollar.
So it lost 66%, 66% almost.
It was last week. It was like $1.30, and I think it dropped another 15 to 17 cents. I haven't checked this morning because I didn't want to be more depressed than I already was. But we're looking at about a 50-cent dollar here in the Great Canadian North, which is good times. So, Amy, I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. About
I knew that when this whole thing went through, markets were going to crash, but I haven't really looked at the details yet.
Oh, I'm out on horizontal, Jimmy. I see you, Jimmy. Yeah, I see, and I don't know. Oh, Jimmy, I see that why, and I'm going to fix that, Jimmy. Thank you. I understand why that happened, so I'm going to get that sorted out. Jimmy, give me 1 second there, Jim. Yes, I am out on the horizontal. Yeah, just all this stuff happening here. There we go. Let's get that.
But it's all an opportunity to get better.
That's exactly it. There, Jim. I think I'm back up there on the horizontal, Jimmy. Yeah, I am back up on the horizontal. That's good. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, thanks, Jeremy. I love it. We got the whole crew just making sure Uncle Keith is sorted out here this morning. So, because Johnny, I got to tell you, brother, I made choices with time yesterday. You and I had a great meeting. And then after we met, I met with a bunch of other folks. Great results of those meetings, my friend. I'll tell you that right now. Just leave that off the table. But then after that meeting, I said, okay, I got one of two choices where I can put my time today. I either got to put my time onto the show here this morning, or I got to put my time onto the folks that I met with yesterday. So that's where I put my time. So this morning, just shuffling it around a little bit this morning. That's all. So Amy, here's what I'm going to offer you this morning, my dear. Oh, my dear Amy, for those that are feeling in the funk, just go through the funk. That's my comment. Just accept it for what it is. Don't try to make more of what it isn't. Some days, John, you just have to accept it. You can't control it. You just have to accept the world around you and deal with the minutes and the hours that come ahead of you and know that tomorrow's going to come. It's probably going to be better tomorrow. That's how I deal with it.
You know, the thing, that's such a great point, brother. And when we sit here and I guess for me, when I think to myself, okay, shit around me is going, a certain way.
Yeah.
Call it good or bad or whatever.
Yeah.
I remind myself that if I do the best that I can today, no matter what, at the end of the day, I'm going to feel good. And my goal is to make sure that every day I feel that way. If I do, I know I'm making progress. The question is, my surroundings may change, but I don't have to change how I operate.
That's exactly right. And man, it's difficult. Like, it's funny because I got up for the show this morning. I thought it was okay. So my purpose on this show is to create humor, create entertainment, create enlightening, positive content. But in the same breath, John, I didn't want to be ignorant to the world that we're living in right now, because I feel like it would be like coming to the show with the head in the sand. Yeah,
Yep.
there's tariffs in Canada, there's tariffs in the US. Like, this has not happened since you and I have been alive. Frankly, this has not happened since Keith and John have been alive. So I would be ignorant to come in and pretend that everything's great right now. Oh yeah, it's all fucking roses and rainbows. No, it's actually not.
100%. You know, and when I said I haven't looked into the details, I should have said I've looked into my details, just not the rest of the worst details. And so last night I caught a whiff of this. So I was like, well, shit, I want to take a look at my own portfolios and see, what I'm going to wake up to, just having an idea. So I got a glimpse of that. Was one of the reasons why I said, I need an extra ass kicking this morning, because I know that things around me are a little more difficult. So I need to be better.
Dude, I love that you said that, Johnny. I did the same thing. You know how much I fucking love running, and today's my Monday and Friday.
What about running?
You know how much oh, yes.
Dislike?
No, actually, no. I'm going to rephrase it. So you know how much I enjoy doing other things. I really enjoy lifting weight. I really enjoy getting on the cycling. And one of the things I don't enjoy as much, good morning, Marty, is getting on the treadmill, Johnny.
What up?
Yes. I share that same vibe with Terry's climber.
You motherfucker, man, reframing my thoughts. So while I'm removing the word hate from my dictionary, it's one of the things that I like to do little less than everything else. I just found myself this morning, Johnny, doing it anyways, because I'm like, all right, I don't like it, but I'm going to do it, and what I did know, John, is just knowing the world around me. I knew that I'd feel better after I got through that situation on the treadmill. So
100%, brother, 100%. So I woke up with the idea that I knew I needed to do a little bit more.
Yes,
because I need to be a little bit better today, because I know my surroundings are going to be a little bit more challenging.
Yes. Good morning, Mr. Christopher Martin. How are you, my brother?
I'm amazing, man. What's going on, guys? How's it going, guys?
What's up, my brother?
So how was your weekend this morning, Marty? I'm just wondering how Saturday was, and was there any sporting events on Saturday, Marty? You noticed that I left my gray jacket on today, and I didn't want to put anything else on, Marty. I just figured we'd just how was Saturday night, pal? What did you do Saturday night?
Well, listen, man.
Something's coming here. I can say there's he's setting something up. What's that,
Johnny?
I can't wait. Yeah.
So the Winnipeg Jets beat the Washington Capitals, but this is what Keith doesn't understand, and this is why Keith didn't even text me back. I'm not getting mad at a city who doesn't have a basketball team, football team, baseball team. You guys won hockey. I mean, the season's not over yet, first of all. So, hey, it is what it is.
It's like soccer, man. Our soccer just doesn't compete with the European soccer. That's the same thing with hockey. We want our teams to do well, but they're playing out of their element, man. They're not. Our teams has not been snowed in their whole lives.
Exactly, man. Come on, man.
I love it. So the Caps played the Jets on Saturday night, and I was having some fun with Marty and Johnny. And Marty, I got to say the first thing, Marty and Keith are having some fun behind the scenes, because I said, hey, Marty, could you imagine 18 months ago that you'd be talking to some dude up here in Canada about hockey? He's like, Bilous, I can't imagine that 18 months ago I'd be sitting here talking to some fucking old white dude in Canada about the Winnipeg Jets versus the fucking Washington Capitals. I'm like, no shit, right? And then Lauren's like, is it a big deal? I'm like, not really. It's just kind of another game in the schedule, but one team's going to come out on first place. And then Johnny, after the game, Marty's like, shit, man, I can't trash talk you on Monday. It was like the whole thing was just all about this morning's trash talk, which was, I guess I'm like, no, you can't trash talk me on Monday. So
it would have been bad too. It was going to be real bad.
Yeah, I'm sure. So we'll look forward to meeting you in the playoffs, maybe for the Stanley Cup Finals, which would be fun.
Yes, sir.
I will say this, which is really cool. Again, John, looking at you, brother. You and I grew up with a young man named Wayne Gretzky playing hockey. I know Johnny went
just thinking about him, dude. Literally.
Yeah. So he's got the all-time record for goals scored in the NHL, and there's one player that's going to break it. His name's Alexander Ovechkin, out of Washington, and he scored on Saturday night, and it's pretty cool. Although I will say this, though, Johnny, is that growing up in the Gretzky era, you're like, I don't want nobody to break the record, but if anybody's going to break it, it's pretty cool that Ovi's going to break it. He's going to break it. He might even break it this season. And Marty, he might even break it against the Jets on March 25th later this season. So it's pretty cool. It's a really cool story, actually.
Yo, how old is he now?
Dude, he's 40.
No way.
He's 40 years old, and he's playing professional hockey at an absolute elite level. Like
It's
that's a
LeBron
goat.
status.
That's a
Yeah, it's
goat, Marty. That's a goat.
That's a goat.
Well,
for
even
sure,
we're finding now that if you take care of your shit, you can do things a little longer.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But
Hey,
Gretzky, man, I gotta say, I can't remember off the top of my head, but he had some quotes that really influenced me as a youngster.
yeah, well, one of the biggest ones, Johnny, and I think this is probably the one you're thinking about because I believe you live your life this way, actually. His big quote was, skate to where the puck is going to be instead of skate to where the puck was. Like he was always about looking to where the puck is going to get to, like kind of looking ahead. And John, you kind of subscribe to that same place. You're always looking ahead and predicting where it's going. And I know you looked at that in your strength career, your bodybuilding career. So I think that's probably one of those big quotes that was influential to you.
Well,
But
totally. And that thing forgive me, I don't remember the quote, but he talked about if every day is the same, you get really good at that day.
yes,
That's
Oh,
my
there you
loop. That's how I kind of converted into my loop. He had a quote. It was really slick.
Yes.
But I was like, God damn it. If I can make a fucking great day every day, I can have success like this guy. That's where I was like, okay, let's break the day down. It's just this. It's hours. It's 24 hours. How do I use those?
Yes.
That's where the loop came from. And that's where I developed my thought on the loop anyway.
I like
So
that.
Thank you, Gretzky.
There you go. Hey, Jimmy, before we get to the accountability check-in, I do want to bring another current event on the table. It's Monday. Let's get into it. So I am admittedly not the biggest basketball fan. I truthfully, I'm just a short white dude from Canada. But Marty,
That's good, brother. That's good because if you're the short white dude from Canada, you're a huge basketball fan. That would be weird.
Exactly. But Marty, one of the biggest basketball trades in history happened over the weekend. Am I not correct?
Oh my God!
Get into it.
I think you got to be a basketball, an actual consumer of this sport to understand how crazy this is.
Yeah.
Teams don't trade their franchise player mid-season for
What happened?
another franchise player.
That's what it was.
No shit, like a swap.
Yeah, Anthony Davis got traded for Luka Doncic, and basically Anthony Davis was up next for when LeBron retires to take over the Lakers, to be the franchise guy. And this is what's crazy, Johnny. You're gonna love this. Luka, that was a superstar on Dallas. He has a history of being overweight, like 40, 50 pounds overweight, but he's still dropping 30. And he took them to the finals last year, and they lost.
Like a fat Barkley, huh?
Exactly. And people are like, well, it doesn't matter he's overweight. He got to the finals. And it's like, well, let's imagine if he wasn't. There's pictures of him at the hookah bar. There's pictures of him outside in Dallas drinking beers. And, I have to think that maybe he was getting on the front office nerves at some point,
Oh, yeah.
So for that to happen, and he's known for not playing any defense. So, but it's kind of like maybe Luka needs to watch this show. Maybe he'll tighten up a little bit.
That's crazy when you're talking about swapping the the franchise players. It's like the difference between swapping players. That's like me and you swapping girlfriends. That it's just like they're not too meaningful to versus also now we got like original unit families with kids, and now we're gonna swap our wives.
Yeah.
Whoa. You're gonna rip the heart out of the family and swap it for the next one. Holy shit, that's big. A franchise player for a franchise player mid-season, that's big.
It's insane, man.
Just that concept. Forget the sport.
And that took the league by surprise, did it not, Marty? Because took everybody by surprise, hey, Marty?
Yeah, and Dallas fans are pissed. They lost 1 million followers on Instagram.
Is that right?
Yeah, they lost 1 million followers. People are pissed. And they're even saying like the general manager who made the move, like he might need to hire some security.
Speaking of Instagram, Jimmy, I'm sending something over to you here. I got something over on Friday. I sent to Marty, and I think I sent to Johnny too.
Oh God,
I got to find a way to get it. Jimmy, I'm going to drop it over to you. Maybe you can grab it and get the video for it.
God.
Yeah, there it is right there. So Jim, if you can grab it and download it for us, we're going to bring it up after this segment. Marty and I had some laugh at Johnny's expense. Johnny,
did you show it to Johnny or no?
I sent it to him on Instagram, but I don't know if Johnny looked at it. So, but it's an incredible discussion.
Yeah, you got you're going to get a faster response. Well, I mean, granted, either way, let's see what you got.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. Jimmy's going to grab that clip. It's a pretty funny one actually. And John, you are going to completely relate to it. All I'm going to say is bidet. And it is an awesome, awesome video clip, actually. Me and Marty had some laughter. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the accountability check-in. We're going to come back and look at the Josh Brolin clip. And then we're going to keep the conversation going. It's going to be a lighter show here today, guys. As we know, Jory is away today. She's doing some work and off vacation, so we got no Jory today. So it's just the three of us for the full hour. I got a bunch of topics that we just kind of didn't get to last week. We're going to throw on the table to kind of. It's going to be a light Monday in the lab today. Amy, I see you there with a cold and a sore back, and it's cold outside. I feel a little trapped by my circumstances. And you got Rick Klotke coming in saying, Clody, sorry, Rick, I'm working on it. Sorry, Amy, back issues are a bitch. Yeah, I get it, but you're here filling your tank for that. I applaud you. Amy, Rick's right. I'm glad you showed up to hang out with us, and hopefully by the time our show's over, you got a little bit of energy and momentum to keep rocking and rolling forward. All right, Jimmy, let's do the accountability check-in, and we're going to come back and talk bidet. John Anderson. Marty. All right, let's do it. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, no tariffs this morning, guys. No tariffs from the morning show. Nope, this is a tariff-free show. All right, boom, boom. If nothing changes, have you asked yourself, Amy, have you asked yourself if nothing changes, where will you be in 5 years? Rick, how about you? Jeremy, how about you? Same job, new excuses, more stress. We like to think that if we don't make a move, life is going to stay the same. And there's a lot of truth to that. But it's ultimately a lie. Yeah, it's a lie. Because nothing stays the same. You're either getting better or you're slowly getting worse. It's the idea of absolutes. We know Friday's coming. Can't prevent it. Nope. So is Monday. Next Monday is absolutely going to be here. So one of two things are going to be happening by next Monday. True story. Now, true story. You're either going to get better or you're going to get worse. There's actually no ambiguity in the middle of it. You're either going to wake up next Monday and largely be in the same situation. You're either going to get better or you're going to get progressively worse. But it's all about intention. So I invite you to ask yourself this question today. Can you still look in the mirror and be proud of yourself? And then when's the last time you felt fired up instead of drained? Ooh, big question. How many chances have you already let that slip? And will you look back, like over there, wishing you had done more? Listen, this show every minute is a reminder of what I don't want to be regretful of. I love this show. I love getting up and entertaining and hanging out with all of you. The minutes that go by that I'm not doing nothing stress me out because I love living with a life of no regret. The next 5 years, you guys, they're going to happen anyways. And they're going to be over before you know it. Rick, you got children. Amy, you got children. Yeah, those 5 years, those 60 months, how quick did they go? So I invite you. You're either going to be grateful that you took action or you're going to be stuck. You're going to ask yourself why you didn't. So don't get up and wonder about regret. Ask yourself what tomorrow, what Thursday, what Friday, what Monday is going to be. Is it going to be the same as today or is it going to be different? The reality is the intention you put into it is the intentional results you will get. There it is. It's your morning accountability check-in with my wires holding my hair all in the back and pulling my ears down. I got these new headphones and I feel like a rock star. I feel like I'm pretty important when I put these new headphones in. So I stuck them in my ears and I stick them behind my back, down my jacket, and then it gets all fucking caught up. But I still feel like a rock star when I do it. So that's why I do it. Yeah, there you go. True story. All right, Jimmy, let's bring the rest of the crew in. Let's keep it going here. Yeah, it's exactly a Rick Clody tariff-free zone, man. No tariffs here on this show. Nope, no tariffs.
No tariffs on the show.
All right. Tariff-free zone, Marty. It's the one thing we're going to keep. I'm going to put some posts out here today, and it's going to be a completely tariff-free situation. All right, so here we go, Rick. Preach it, brother. Yeah, love this topic. Seize the day, man. Squeeze. But yeah, exactly. I know I'm a rock star, Rick. That's what I tell myself every single morning. All right, Jimmy, let's get that video rolling. We're going to pull the video, guys. I invite you all to watch this. For those of you who've been hanging out with our show for a long time, you know that we have one of the brothers here on the show, Johnny Anderson, who loves his bidet. And I mean, he loves his bidet. And for those of you that used the bidet before, you know what the whole situation is like. Get the water going up the ass, and it just feels such a wonderful experience. I'll tell you,
up the ass, up the cheeks, yes. Not up the ass.
Well, I will tell you, when I sold ICUC and went to Vegas and spent a bunch of money on nice hotel rooms and nice suites and so forth, Johnny, Marty, you talk about bougie, man. I had some of the most wonderful heated water bidets I could ever even imagine. So it's like,
oh, dude, the seat is warm when you sit down, and what happens is the warm water, the seat is warm because the water that you're about ready to clean your cheeks with is in that warm seat.
It's unbelievable, actually. So play the video with Josh Brolin and let's have some fun with it. Jimmy, let's get after it.
Hey, hold up, real quick, man.
Yes.
I feel like when I get to y'all level one day, I'm gonna just be like, yo, can I get a regular toilet? Like, when I get to that level, I feel like I'm just gonna be like, I just need the regular shit, man. I don't need the fancy shit.
Well, yeah, Marty. This stuff just kind of happens to you, you know. It's like you kind of develop the taste for a Brussels sprout. You don't know how to happen. All of a sudden, you're like, fuck, I want some Brussels sprouts. When you're a kid. When you're a kid, you're like, get that shit away from me. It stinks.
Well, and Mark, the funny thing is, I did not grow up with bidets. Like, I grew up in a world of. Like,
I didn't either.
No, like using leaves and fucking dollar bills to wipe my ass and grass growing up as a young kid. So all of a sudden, you have a little money, you end up in a nice hotel room, and you're like, how do you work this thing? There's fucking buttons, remote control, and you're like, I just want to sit down and have a crap. And it's like,
that's hilarious, man.
Sometimes it's just not that easy. Jimmy, let's run the video, man. This is a good one, man. This is a good video. Let's run it.
Guys, I'm in England right now. Do you know what this is?
Johnny?
All right, so I'm sitting there, I'm doing my business,
I recognize that remote.
And suddenly I press this button, and this stream of water comes out, this warm water, and it basically attacks my butthole. And
he's got the volume up.
It's so shocking and cleans the whole area. It's almost like somebody's giving you a hug from behind, like they're giving you a pat on the back. Like, I know that was hard and you got through it and we're proud of you. And I feel transformed right now. It's like, where has this been? Anyway, I'm loving England.
I'm loving England.
If he's having that much, if he's describing it like a fight, he's got the thing turned up way too high.
Is it too high though? When that nice stream of warm water just gets
you can turn the volume, so to speak, where the volume of water comes out stronger. I mean, for me, man, I want that just a nice little gentle stream going up in there. I don't want it. You hit me with too much heat. Too much volume and the cutter shrinks up tight. Get one of these, I don't want that.
I got to be honest, Marty. When we sat down and put the show together and we start bringing it together, never did I think that the bidet and the whole topic of cleaning one's anus would be such a central topic of our show, Marty. It's like a pillar. It's like a pillar of discussion.
Yeah, me neither. I didn't think that either. And if you would have told me that in the beginning, I probably wouldn't have joined this damn show. Like, I don't know if that aligns with me, man.
we need a bidet sponsor. I don't think there's any morning show on the planet that lean into warm water going up the butthole with bidets, except for Mornings in the Lab with Keith.
Well, we promote unapologetically being ourselves. When we can talk about anything, that's a nice demonstration.
I love it.
We got to talk to Sowers, man. Is he expanding the business or what? What are we doing here, man?
I saw Sowers at a trade show there, and I knocked on his door. He was kicking some ass down there in the United States. We'll have to get Sowers back on the show. Maybe we can get Sowers into a tariff-free zone. Listen, I don't want to pay 25% more to go have a shit. Right? If I got to pay 25% more to go have a dump in Sowers can, there needs to be some changes, Marty. So
there's got to be some changes, man.
Hey, Marty, can sparkling water? Here's a segue, boys. Can sparkling water help you lose weight? Oh,
I suppose if you're put in a place of sugary sodas, yeah.
I was about to say, yeah, exactly. It depends what we're talking about.
So let's talk about something simple. Sparkling water. Some research suggests, boys, it might help with weight loss. But is it legit or is it just another health trend? The science behind this is interesting. When you drink carbonated water, CO2, it gets absorbed into your bloodstream, and this changes the pH balance in your red blood cells, which could lead to better glucose metabolism. Some similar things happen in hemodialysis, where blood sugar levels drop. Now, it sounds promising, right? But here's the reality. The effectation is relatively minimal, right? So, if it's not going to burn fat or melt pounds off, if you're looking to get lean, you still need to focus on the basics, diet, lifting, and moving more. Now, there are some real benefits to drinking sparkling water. It keeps you hydrated. It can make you feel fuller. And it's a solid replacement, here we talk about, boys, for sugary drinks. That's the key, right? There's so many better choices you can make, say, those sugary drinks. But there are downsides, too, with sparkling water, bloating, gas, and the slightly acidic effects on your teeth. The bottom line is, you guys, if you like sparkling water, it's a great alternative to soda and hydration. But if you're relying on it for weight loss, no, it's not actually going to.
The whole idea of relying on one thing for weight loss has got to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no one thing. The one thing is actually complying with a whole bunch of things called a program or a new lifestyle.
Yes.
That's the one thing.
The problem is, Johnny,
it wasn't
the one thing, though.
What's that?
The problem is, boys, is people still look for the one thing, right? And that's to me is the challenge, that people still want that magic. It's
because those are the lottery ticket buyers.
Yes,
you know,
exactly right. Yes, yeah, Marty.
You realize there's no one thing that's going to get you what you want. It's a series of things, doing it consistently every day. And once you actually grasp that concept, you leave that old you behind, and you start making progress.
Yes. Amy Riner coming in, Marty, with I drink a lot of sparkling water with tart, cherry juice, or orange slices instead of wine or beer. So I think I'm better for it. Good choices, Amy. Right? She's like, yeah, I'll take sparkling water over a wine or a beer. Nothing wrong with that choice is all.
You know, it's interesting, Louis, on this whole topic. How many times have we seen a billionaire win the lottery, or even a millionaire? Never happens, because these bastards don't buy the tickets.
They're busy working.
Because they understand there's not one action that's going to get them what they want.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Well, there was like a politician in Maryland one year that won the lottery.
It was probably it's probably a gift,
pissed.
for Christ's sake. You know, I've scratched some tickets because I get them as gifts. You know, like it's a joke.
Yeah.
You know.
I was just gonna add real quick though. People look for one thing for weight loss, but they don't realize they didn't only have one beer. They had Bud Light, they had Natural Light, and they had what's another
Natural
one?
Light.
Miller Light. So my thing is, you're doing a variety of things, whether that's candy, whether it's fast food. You're doing a variety of things to gain the weight. So I don't know why you think you don't have to do a variety of things to lose the weight. You know?
Yeah. You know what's interesting to me, boys, is I was at a Jets game a few weeks back, and they have a zero alcohol beer now. Like, obviously there's a lot of it out there, but Budweiser has their zero, like Budweiser Zero.
That's getting pretty common now, isn't it?
Zero alcohol beer?
Yeah.
Really? I haven't heard of that.
But you still need to be 18 to buy it.
Interesting.
Well, it's bizarre to me.
But the drinking age up there is 18, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if down here you can. I'm curious now if down here to buy a zero alcohol beer, you've got to be 21.
Yeah, but
Hold up, though. What's the point of that?
That's what I don't understand, Marty. It's like, okay, it's like saying, here's your zero alcohol beer, but you got to be 18 or 21 to drink it. I don't know. I guess.
Is there traces of alcohol in there?
Well, I guess maybe allegedly that there is. I was puzzled by it when I first was introduced to it. They were walking around the rink handing out the zero beer, and I said, "Hey, Carter, do you want one?" They said, "No, we can't have one." I was like, "Yeah, but it's zero alcohol." Like, well, no, but it's still beer. I'm like, "Oh, okay." Anyways, Marty, you want to do the fit tip, and then let's come back with 10 steps to build a life that matters with intention. It's brand new month. Let's give some people something to think about. Marty, let's get after it, brother.
Yes, sir. Get off the screen. All right, man. We got to treat our fitness like a math problem. Now, I know you're sitting here wondering, like, what the heck, a math problem? What? A math problem. That's what I said. Let's talk about it. You did a variety of things to get the body that you don't want. You accumulated the fat. You lost your muscle, right? Flabby, man boobs, big back, whatever you want to call it. You did a sum of things to get there. It didn't happen accidentally. So now we got to subtract. All right. You added the fast food on top of the alcohol, on top of the sedentary lifestyle, on top of the sweets, on top of this. Let's start subtracting it. So we just talked about how you can't just have one thing that's going to get to the weight loss. You can't just focus on one thing. You got to focus on a variety of things. You got to get your water intake. You got to get your protein. You got to do your cardio. You got to do some resistance training. You have to do a number of things to lose the weight. There's no secret. There's no magic trick. So next time you're looking for a quick fix or a quick result or a 30-day challenge, just remember all the things you added up to get where you don't want to be. Now it's time to subtract. Treat your fitness like a math problem. That's the fitness tip for today.
All right, there's the fit tip of the day with C. Marty Fit. Always dropping it about 8:30. Fitness advice to help you guys get through the day and give you something to think about, something provocative. Coming up in about 12 minutes, Anderson's going to drop something for you guys to think about as well. 3 times an hour, we give you guys something to think about to move you through your day. Something we're hopeful to. It goes, oh, never thought about that. Or, oh, I should get moving. Or, oh, geez, that's going to help me out. So you drop in at the 15, 30, and 45 minute of our hour here. You're going to get some advice to help you guys get through the day. Hey, guys, we're talking about how to be intentional and take control of your life on Mornings Live with Keith and Friends, the only morning show for men, and Amy Riner. I'd invite you to subscribe to the channel to tell your friends all about this greatest morning show. And we got Rick Clody coming in with I love lime flavored tapioca. What? I don't know how to tapioca. I don't know that word, Marty. Sparkling water. I drink one almost daily. Then we got Scott Benzie coming in with Heineken Zero, probably. No alcohol, no calories. Some non-alcoholic drinks actually do have a trace of alcohol.
There you have it.
And I guess that makes sense. I guess, yeah, there's this whole idea of, if you give your child the non-alcoholic stuff, it moves them to the world of alcoholic stuff. I don't know. I have opinions on that we can address on a different day. But boys, 10 steps to taking control of your life. Here's a chance, guys, for the next 10 minutes or so, 8 minutes, we're going to create some great content, some great shorts. Johnny, I know you're going to have some good stuff. Marty, you're going to have some good stuff to jump in here with. Let's get after it. Guys, we got to stop drifting. We got to start living with purpose. Here's the thing I like about today's topic. It's a brand new month. For those of you that are counting months, for those of you that live a life with an end date, for those of you that live a life with, I go 7 days, I go 24 hours. Myself, Marty, and Johnny, we go with a loop. There's really no end to it. But those of you that are thinking about a start and an end, today's a great day to get started. It's a Monday, a brand new month. Stop drifting, start living with purpose. Because, boys, too many men go through life, and I'd say women as well, on autopilot. Drives me nuts. Reacting instead of taking action. You know what, boys? I always said this to my last team. I always said this. If you're reacting, you've already lost. You've lost. You're done. I've never heard a customer, Marty, Johnny, I've never heard of a customer saying to me, oh, Keith, yeah, you're taking care of me too much. Oh, Keith, yeah, you're calling me too much. Yeah. Hey, Keith, yeah, you're giving me too much great customer service. Oh, yeah. But I've heard a lot of customers say, hey, Keith, yeah, you haven't fucking called me in a couple weeks. Oh, yeah. Hey, Keith, yeah, you haven't taken care of me. Yeah. So when you're reacting, you've already lost. In anything, frankly. If you want more out of life, here's I'll fucking bring it right to the politics of the world. Did my country not think that this was coming? Like in 2016, we knew that there was this on the agenda. Yet my country wakes up this morning. Oh, I guess the guy down there is going to give us some tariffs. Fuck, duh. Reacting, we're losing fucking goofballs. Anyways, if you want more to life, you have to make deliberate choices. You got to make deliberate choices. And here's how we start it, right? Question the rules you've always been given. Johnny, everything you believe, where did it come from? Your parents, your teachers, society.
Brother, I got a Marty, you're going to love this one too. This is the way that I've chose to live. And I'm stealing this. I'll tell you who said it. But I heard this early in life.
Get after it, Johnny.
Break the rules, not the laws.
Yes.
Because the rules, everybody follows the rules. You don't have to follow the rules. You have to follow the laws. And that's our boy Arnie that laid that one out. I heard that when I was probably late teens. And that was like really one of the things that made me realize, holy shit, yes, I was having a hard time to stomach and that I was really different. Then I realized, holy shit, this is actually a blessing. And that's when, if you think about it, people follow rules every day like they're laws.
Yes.
You don't have to follow them.
Well, and you know what? All personal opinions aside of the current leader of the United States, the gentleman's breaking the rules that have been in place for 100 years. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not here to say whether they're right or wrong. It's actually, I don't have an opinion on it. The point is, he's like, no, just because it's been done a certain way for the last 100 years doesn't mean it's the right way for the next 100 years. And what I like about that, and I live by the same thing. challenge it. Come at something with a first principles approach. Elon Musk, everything he does is first principles. Taking a problem, unraveling it, and asking yourself, forget everything you knew. How do you solve it, Marty?
Well, I'm big on results, right? So sometimes if you're getting the result that you want, if you're getting the desired result, then by all means break the rules, right?
Yes.
But if you're breaking the rules and not getting a result, if you're showing up to preseason 40, 50 pounds overweight and you're not winning the finals, that's a problem. You can't break the rules there. If you bring in championships to the team, then all right, break the rules. I don't care. But, you know, make sure that when you're focusing on breaking the rules, you're focusing on results too.
Yes. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Number two, boys.
And break the rules, go in the wrong direction. Like Marty, you're talking about championships and practice. Like Colby, Michael Jordan, these guys broke the rules, setting a new standard. Like the rules, okay, we practice here, we do this, we do that. Okay, that's like the base requirement of that's following the bottom end of the trend of the rules. There's no limit to how far you can break the rules on the far side. Then you set a new standard. I mean, obviously you can break them on both sides of the equation, but when I say break the rules, I'm talking about break the rules to do better, not to be a lazy son of a bitch.
That's exactly right. That's exactly number two, guys. And here's one, and I'll be honest, and I've talked about this often on the show. I've talked about this on my posts in the past. I've talked about it privately with you, Marty, with you, Johnny. Define your core values. I went through a big part of my life really messed up with what my values were. I really got to admit I did not understand them. I didn't know about them. I struggled with them, frankly. And as a result, I made bad decisions. But guys, define your core values. What drives you? Write down 4 or 5 that shape your life. And for me, you know, again, I've talked about the influence that AJ Zeglin's had in my life, right? For me, it's health, it's creativity, it's courage, it's independence. Now listen, yours might be different, but that's the point. Write down your values and put them in that box and hold to them. Like I know Johnny's values, I know Marty's values, and that's why I think there's so much love here is because I know yours, you guys know mine, and they're definitive, and we fit within them, and then we respect them. But if you don't have any core values, boys, you're going to be lost like I was for a long time, making bad decisions, going aimlessly from one spot to the one, waking up after selling your business for millions of dollars going, fuck, I still feel empty, right? So defining your core values is extremely, extremely important. Marty, start with you on this one.
Yeah, definitely. You got to find your sorry, I was reading Jeremy's comment. But no, you definitely got to find your you got to find your core values early. And I'm just looking at Jeremy's comment here and just you got to learn from the mistakes. It says I was an arrogant jerk when I was younger. I had to have some hard knocks and learn to be a better person. And you got to be exactly. You got to be thankful for that, you know?
Yes.
I look at some of the, you know, dumb shit I did and some of the stuff I've been through that, you know, it might make me sad or whatever, but it's made me a better man. So, you know, kind of got to go through that.
Yeah. Johnny?
Yeah, I mean, it's when it comes down to, I mean, this is a conversation that is not had with many young men.
No.
And we're kind of just put out there, you know, we're bred to go to school, you know, go to college, you know, get a job, buy a house. And if you look at what we were bred to do, we're bred to go right into the system. College, you know how much fucking college is overpriced? It's unbelievable. Yeah. Colleges are in trouble now. I mean, I got anyway. Then you go and you buy a house. So the house is buying a house. That's the future of that's your retirement. That's it. You're paying 3 times that what that fucking house is worth with all the interest. Interest is the number one expense a man has is taxes. The number 2 is interest. But yet we're trained to get into an interest situation with the biggest possible investment a person knows.
I'm, you know what, you said something that really strikes me, which is, you know, I want to speak for men because that's that's our target audience, which is, you know, you're right. I wasn't taught about my core values with my father or with the men around me. And I don't know if we do a good enough job of that, Johnny.
Well, because then you don't get, if you're taught your values, you're not going to go into the system. The system is basically designed to get people into a place where they're kind of stuck.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
And when you understand these conversations, it's like, we're not taught about how money works when you're young either.
No.
And that's the whole point, because if we're given the knowledge that we need early enough, we don't end up falling into the situation where we feel like we're trapped.
Yes.
You know, thank God,
Hey.
again, thank God I was a dumb little son of a bitch because I was forced to do it my way, and my way was not in the system.
Yeah.
Well, and Jeremy
Hey,
Cunningham, I can relate to you, brother, because I was the arrogant jerk for a long time too. You know, as I was growing ICUC, there's things that I did I was not very proud of, but I got to be honest with you, John and Marty, I believe I had to go through that to be here today.
We all do.
Yes, I had to go through that. I had to learn from those experiences. I had to lose millions of dollars. I had to go through divorce. I had to sit down with my kids and say, hey, kids, your mom and dad are going through. I had to go through all that stuff to be able to be here in front of all you guys.
Brother, you see, think about it. You got to lose your first $100 to make your first 1,000.
Yes.
You got to lose your first 1,000 to make your first 10,000. You got to lose your first 10,000 to make your first 100. You got to lose your first 100 to make your first million. It's just part of the game.
Yes.
How it works.
That's it.
And when we sit there and we hold on to that early on, we hold on to that 100, and we don't ever put it forward and risk it. We never get into the cycle.
That's right. That's exactly right. Hey, you're hanging out with Keith, John, and Marty here. Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends here. How to be intentional and take control of your life. Jimmy, we're going to get to the next two here. We're going to stop at 5 so John can do the lifestyle tip. Then we're going to come back and finish the other 5. This is a great topic because these are meaningful things. Again, I pride myself on this show to give our, Business Athlete Nation, our listeners, something to think about, something provocative, right? That gets them through the day. Having a clear vision is one of them. The vague goal leads to vague results. Create a vision board, digitally, analog, whatever, but write down your goals because studies show you're 42% more likely to hit them if you do. More importantly, studies have shown over 70% of your goals will be achieved if you come out and state them publicly. And I've said this all along. If you have a big goal you want to achieve, come knock on my door, John's door, Marta's door. Come on this show and tell us and tell Mornings Nation, Business Athlete Nation about your goal. I'm pretty certain if you come on this show and state your goal out loud, you're going to have a high chance of succeeding at hitting it. Why? Because you're publicly declaring it. And the moment you make that public declaration of accountability, and you got John, Marty, and Keith on your side, I suspect you're going to achieve it. So you got a clear vision? Come on our show and tell the world about it. Number 4, know what you want to avoid. John, you talk about this all the time. You're all about cutting the chaff, cutting the negativity out of your life, knowing what you want to avoid. Thinking about where your current path is taking you. Are you headed toward regret? Are you surrounding yourself with people that are holding you back? And are you using that fear as fuel to make changes now? John, lean into that statement because some folks that might be new or want to hear this whole idea of knowing what you want to avoid. Johnny.
Well, I just kind of remind myself, and I think this is helpful for others too, is that, whatever we think about, we're going to get more of. Generally speaking, the shit that's around us that comes into our lives, into our sight, whatever you want to call it, it becomes a thought. And if you're surrounded by negativity, you're surrounded by negative thoughts.
Yeah.
And if you're filled with negative thoughts, you're not seeing opportunities. You're seeing problems, not opportunities. And I realized very quickly that when I keep myself surrounded with positivity, I have positive thoughts, I see opportunities rather than problems. And I just excel just by the nature. It's almost like if you're trying to lose 100 pounds, don't hang out in the candy shop. You got to get the shit away from you that you don't want to be a part of. Yes. And so by eliminating negativity, just by default, you're going to be in a better position to have a better life. I'm talking about, monetarily. I'm talking about emotionally. I'm talking about across the board.
Well, and in many ways, it's news too. Again, this morning I got up, I said to myself, okay, I can't put my head in the sand and pretend that the world and the tariffs.
Oh, brother, the news is fucking terrible.
Exactly.
I don't watch the news. I'll get the information I need from, finding people like my mom is great at giving me little tidbits here and there. She knows I don't watch the news.
Yeah. So I thought to myself this morning, I'm going to address it. I'm going to address the elephant in the room, but I'm not going to spend any time beating on it because it's already out there. It's going to be out there everywhere I go today. It's going to be there. So I said to myself, you know what? For the next 60 to 90 minutes on this show, we're going to touch on it, but we're not going to go there. We're going to stay positive because Marty, this one, I'm going to come at you, brother, because I love this one. This one about being intentional. I know you are all about. Take full responsibility. No more excuses. Your life is 100% your responsibility. Just like when you were going through your journey in life, Marty, and you're like, holy fuck, this is not turning out somebody. Yeah, you're a loser. You're like, I'm not a fucking loser. No way, man. I'm doing something about it. You didn't take the victim mindset and just sit there and wallow in your sorrow. You started making moves. Marty, talk about the idea of taking full responsibility.
Yeah, if you keep playing in the victim Olympics, you're gonna get a gold medal eventually. For real. Listen, I always say the more you make it, the more excuses you look for, the more you're gonna find, and it's just gonna get ridiculous. You know,
You get what you think about, period.
you get what you think about, and at the end of the day, it starts with you. You know, like nobody made you eat the Popeyes, right? Nobody made you go get a freaking big ice cream cup from Cold Stone. Nobody made you do that. You decided to do that. Nobody told you to go spend your money on all parlays and prize picks, and now you lost your rent money. You did that. All right. So you got to look in the mirror and realize that you're in control of your decisions, and you're in your situation because of you.
Dude, where do we get this guy from? If you're going to the victim Olympics, you're eventually going to get a gold medal.
Yeah, for
fucking
real.
love that, man.
That was good. That was good, brother.
That was off the top
real good.
too.
Was that really? That was fucking sharp.
I
for pulling
promise.
that out of the
Nobody
fuck-
ever said
pulling that
that
out of the sky. That was good.
That's solid. That's solid. Speaking of pulling stuff out of the sky, Anderson's going to drop a lifestyle tip for you guys. And then we're going to come back and wrap up this intentional conversation about how to build a life of intention. We got 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And the next one's starting with some habits that I know John's all about. Johnny, let's get it.
Tell Jimmy I need that clip.
Yes, you're going to get it. I like that. The victim Olympics. Get after it, Johnny.
I was laying on the couch, butt naked, sweating profusely because I had overeaten so badly that my body was in shock. I'm in my early 20s, and literally there I am, butt naked, and I still have this little container, a little Tupperware container, which you should have had some sort of good foods in there, and it's filled with M&Ms, and I'm feeding myself one by one. I can barely breathe. One of my friends comes walking in my apartment, and he looks at me. I didn't know it was coming, clearly. He says, "What the fuck are you doing? Have some self-respect." And it just hit me like a bomb. Well, see, basically, I kept myself surrounded with people who would be honest with me. And in that moment, I needed somebody to be honest with me because I was really fucking it up. So the reason I explain this story about, a situation of my life is because when you keep people around you that truly love you, that will be honest, it will help you stay in check. So don't be careful, surround yourself with people who will tell you what you want to hear. Keep yourself surrounded with people who are going to tell you what you need to hear. That's the bottom line. Rock and roll.
Rock and roll with Keith and Johnny. Johnny's lifestyle tip. Hey, Johnny, I got a question for you, man. You too, Marty. I'm always curious about this. Is it butt naked or is it buck naked? I thought it was buck naked. Or
I think it could go either way. It could be dick naked. It could be belly naked. It could be buck. I think anything followed by naked or before naked, people are going to get the point.
Marty, when I heard he was laying on the couch sweating profusely, I started getting some images conjured up in my head about a young man named John Anderson laying there in his sweaty, swassy couch, popping M&Ms.
Good. Well, the thing is that I was in that moment, I was living in such denial. I had myself convinced it was okay.
Yeah, exactly. Hey guys, we're talking about how to build an intentional life, how to be intentional throughout your day. And this next one, as we're going through these 10 years, number 6. And this one we subscribe to on this show. And if you're a regular listener, you hear about it all the time. It's building habits that stack wins. Massive change comes from consistent small actions. And you know what, guys? For those of you that have been tuning to the show long enough, actually, Marty and Johnny, you can see this too. Marty, I'll look at you, brother. Back when you joined me in May, right? You think about, 230 some odd shows from now, ago, right? 1% improvement every day. You can see the improvement to where we sit here today, right? And I love when we can sit back and think about getting better 1% every day and then visualizing what it's going to look like. Like, that's a pretty powerful thing, but it all has to start with a 1% habit stack every single day, boys.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Man. We've come a long way, man.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
a big part of it is just from the consistency, you
Yes,
know.
exactly. Yeah.
And we fucked up too. Maybe this is
Yeah.
like probably before Johnny got here, but we definitely fucked up a few times. I know, like audio and just not
Yes.
communicating and stuff. So
Yes,
definitely,
yes, exactly right. But the thing is, though, consistently showing up, right? And then the other thing, boys, here's one that I'm going to tell you guys tuning in right now. We all do this. We all do it. Some of us do it subconsciously, some of us do it consciously. But I would say humans do this nonstop. And in the world of social media, it's hard to get away from this. It's this whole idea of stop comparing yourself to somebody else. Social media lies. People show their highlights, not their struggles. Run your own race and focus on your own growth.
Yep.
Johnny.
Well, in that battle goes your whole life. You know, when I was younger, of course, I was always comparing myself.
Yep.
You know, I was like, God damn it, why can't I be like them? I just want to be like everybody else, right? And then I realized, okay, I don't want to be like everybody else. I started living my life and blah, blah, blah. But then even when I got into, like, I remember the first time I showed up on the international scene in Pro Strongman, I was like looking at these dudes and they're like, I'm thinking to myself, holy shit. I mean, they've been doing it a lot longer than me and they're the veterans of the sport and they're stronger. And I'm thinking, I'm comparing myself. And I thought, whoa, you play this game here and you are going to get fucking spit out. So I literally, at that moment, I was, okay, you got to focus on you and you be the best you today and you're going to be fine. But no matter what, no matter how high you climb, there's always going to be somebody better and that default is going to click and you got to catch yourself and you got to shut it down.
Yes, exactly. Marty, what are your thoughts on the whole idea of not comparing yourself to somebody else?
Well, you never know what's real and what's not. You know, I even saw a post yesterday where a girl was like, you know, like snatch waist, you know, nice lower body. And then it skips to a scene of her what she really looks like. She basically was saying people Photoshop their videos and Photoshop their photos.
Is that even a thing? You can Photoshop a video?
Hell yeah. People do it all the time. Yeah. So it's just, you never know what's real and what's not. And the only thing that's for certain is if you're getting 1% better, you can count on that.
Yes.
You can listen to people, you know, you can listen to motivational quotes, you can listen to podcasts. But, you know, if you're not implementing that in your life and actually trying to get better and just actually comparing like the image or someone's car that they rented for the day or whatever other bullshit people do, it doesn't even matter. Social media is not real all the time. So
that's exactly it. Number 8, you guys, on this whole idea of being intentional and living a life of intention is setting boundaries and saying no more often.
yeah.
Really, if it's not a hell yes, it's a no. Like protect your time, protect your energy, protect your mental space. I had this conversation with Adam House a couple weeks ago, and he's like, Keith, I got to do a better job protecting my time. And I'm like, yeah, it's because if you don't, everybody else is going to steal it, right?
I got so good at saying no early on. That was probably what, you know, I mean, literally, it was like, I can't tell you how many things, situations I said no to, because saying no to that meant I could continue to do what I wanted to do. And that was it. So I thank God I got that one down early.
Yes.
If anything, I got too good at it.
There you go. And then number 9, you guys, is decluttering your life. This is a good one too, which is too much noise, too many distractions. Cut the excess, clean your space, focus on what actually adds value. And you know, boys, it could be as simple as this: the actual physical desk that you're on or the digital desk that you're on. I know myself, what helps for me sometimes is when I'm feeling cluttered, I just cleaned a bunch of shit or delete my inbox and start from scratch. Here's the thing about an inbox, boys. If it's that important, somebody's going to come back to you. If it's that important, somebody's going to phone you. So if you're finding that your inbox or your digital space, your physical space is too cluttery, get rid of it. In my experience, being on the planet for a couple of years, if it's extremely important, the person that it's important to will make sure that it's important to you. So declutter it. Take control of your life so somebody else doesn't. Because in my experience, that clutter is generally somebody else's noise, John, Marty. And that somebody else's noise clutters up your life. So declutter it. It's pretty simple to do. Number 10, reflect daily and stay present. I love this one. Stop living for someday. We always talk about it on the show. Don't start your journey next Monday. Start today. Check in with yourself and ask yourself, am I living in alignment with what really matters? It's a question we have to ask ourselves. It goes back to values. Right, Marty? Right, Johnny?
Yeah, the day of the week doesn't matter, man.
No.
It's 24 hours. Come on.
Yes.
Well, that's the way that we're programmed. We're programmed to get in. I mean, if you don't do what you like to do Monday through Friday, you can't wait for Saturday and Sunday. So use these terms.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so some final thoughts, you guys, before we wrap up this part of the conversation here. And actually, great, we're starting to wrap up the show here, but or this first hour of the show. Living with intention isn't about following a rigid plan. It's about making deliberate choices that align with who you really are. Now, I'm going to ask you guys one thing. What's one intentional change you're making this week? Let's talk about it. Bring it to the conversation. And yes, Jimmy, I want you to show it. So, guys, I'm going to do a quick recap here. 10 steps to build a simple life that matters. Number 1, question the rules you've been given. Always question. Number 2, define your core values. Number 3, have a clear vision. Number 4, know what you want to avoid. Number 5, take full responsibility. Number 6, build them habits that stick. Number 7, stop comparing yourself. Number 8, say boundaries, say no more too often. Number 9, declutter your life. And number 10, reflect daily and stay present. But guys, I do want us to talk about this one here, which is one that really strikes me, which is this whole idea of comparing yourself to somebody else. Because guys, I woke up this morning struggling with my own mirror, struggling with comparing myself to Bianca Sensori. Jimmy, throw it up there, brother. Last night, Bianca Sensori showed up on the Grammy Awards wearing what she was not wearing. And I said to myself, how can I not compare myself to this young lady? Jimmy, do you got it, brother?
What?
Yeah, I'm waiting to hear this one.
He
Definitely. This is a bait and switch. This is smoke and mirrors. Let's see.
You guys got to see this, man, because I was doing this on the fly with Jimmy here, so I think he's going to pull it up on the screen here. But Jimmy, so last night, Kanye's wife at the Grammys, Bianca Sensori, showed up on the red carpet with Kanye, and she wonderfully had some great clothes not on, and she actually was naked on the red carpets, and he had her posing in the front view and the back view, and all she had on was an invisible dress. So I'm joking the fact that I woke up this morning finding that I looked in the mirror for my own picture of the day and I compared myself to her. Can you get over that is what is happening in this world, which is like, and I gotta just have crack a joke, man. The way that he was showing her off, it was like ownership. It's like, yeah, I own this human being, and I asked her not to wear anything. Like, she had nothing on at all, actually. So there you go, boys. Living a life of intention. I thought we'd have some fun with that goofy moment of the young lady who showed up on the red carpet wearing absolutely nothing. And we wonder why we have the conversations we have. And Johnny, we have young daughters. Marty, you're going to have a daughter one day. We have young daughters who are going, okay, yes, that is not what I want my daughter wearing one day on the red carpets.
Yeah, probably not. This is ridiculous, man.
Oh, man. All right. Well, listen, boys. Hour 1 is done. Hour 1 is done. We had a good conversation on how to be intentional. We had a very light hour here on Mornings Live with Keith and Friends. The only morning show to help you guys get
quick thought, brother. Those things, those were pretty powerful. The things we talked about.
Yes.
Maybe we should think about some point, like looping back to these, but like, not only talking about, but creating some takeaways so people can actually say, okay, here's this issue. Here's 3 things that we would suggest. If you want to try this and implement it, here's 3 things that you can do to implement, today. Because it's a great list, but it's like, I'm thinking to myself, the average man, okay, this is great information, but where the fuck do I start?
I like that, Johnny. Let's do that. Yeah. That's a great suggestion.
That's a good idea.
So what we'll do then, Nation, is we're going to get into this whole idea of how to be intentional. And we'll come back to this conversation because that's the goal here is to keep having conversations that continue, right? Not a one and done. And you're right, Johnny. We dropped 10
powerful
nuggets. So,
but how do you do it?
Exactly. So let's get to that. Let's get that the rest of the week. Maybe what we'll do is we'll tackle one of them through every single day. And then what we'll do, guys, we'll give you guys 3 things to take this and then how to bring it to life.
We can each give a takeaway.
I love that.
If this is something that I was going to start or do better, here's what I would do to start. Here's what I would do to get better. Yeah, I like that. We're going to do that. And Scott Benzie is coming in with saying, I need to post that list in my mirror so I can see it every day. You're right, Benzie. You know what we're going to do, brother? We're going to talk about it more often this week. And
let's do it.
I like good time. Who are you wearing? Myself. Yes. That's exactly it. Hey, guys, we talked about this morning in the show here. The first hour we got into this idea. Is drinking sparkling water may help you with weight loss? No. Just drink lots of water, guys. Make better decisions. Cut the sugary drinks.
Decisions. That's it. Decisions. I like that.
Yeah, decisions. And then we got into mastering life with purpose, which is, and then we also talked about the fact that this is a tariff-free zone on the show here this morning. Marty, you're heading out here in a few minutes. What's on the agenda today at Gold here, brother?
Gonna hit legs and mingle with the old folks, the old people, man. That's about it. Come home.
Hey, so you've been at this gig now for a couple of months now. What?
Almost 3 months. Well, 3 months about.
Nobody's listening. What do you hate about it?
It's a lot.
Hold on. Rephrase that question, please.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Thanks,
good
John.
night.
No, this is good. That's why we have accountability partners here.
That's it, baby.
Marty,
That's it.
I know there's a lot of parts of the job that you enjoy. What are one of the things of the job that doesn't provide as much joy in your life as you wish it did provide?
Well, that's a real flip there, brother.
It's a lot of petty things out of my control.
Yeah,
like broken equipment. I mean, I got to put like a ticket in for that. You know, I can only do but so many of those. You know.
But you know what? Well, this is a good learning, Marty. Let's take this somewhere, because there's guys going to work here today who are in the same situation as you, is going, there's things that I really don't enjoy about this part of my job. So then how do you find your way? How do you manage it, Marty? Do you say, okay, I can't control this, so I'm just not going to deal with it. I'm not going to stress it out. Like, turn this into a teachable moment right now, Marty.
I know what I would do, so I'm curious to hear what you do, Martin.
Yeah.
Well, one, it's never going to stress me out. But I use it as an opportunity to just work on my like people skills and sales skills. Just you know. Yeah. I'll put that in right. I'll put that in right away for you. You know, or I'll handle that. You know, I apologize about that, and just make sure I do what I need to do on my end. Make sure I'm accountable for my job. You know.
I like that you said you don't let it stress you out, because, and I'm going to suspect because you know the amount of control that you have over a situation. And I'm suspecting you've learned. And what I love about this is, 31-year-old puppy Johnny is that he's going to himself, okay, I'm not going to let something I can't control stress me out. That's a skill set, my friend. It took me a long time to figure that out.
Absolutely not. I mean, what am I going to stress for? What is stressing going to do? What's that going to provide? But
it's easier said than done, Marty. So I applaud you for that. I really do. I applaud you for that, because too many of us get too stressed out about things that we can't control, and then it stresses us out more, frankly. Johnny, what would your comment on that be?
Well, there's two things that I would do. First thing is I would hire a person to deal with that. Because here's the thing. I think people tend to not understand, if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur, people tend to not realize that there are parts of the job that you like, that you excel, and that's where you need to spend your time. The parts that, like this part, you put a person in place to insulate you from dealing with that. Like if you don't like accounting, hire an accountant. Or now the flip side is maybe you don't have the funds to hire somebody. So then you create a system, because it's either a person or a system that creates efficiency.
Well, that's what's frustrating. We have a system and stuff still doesn't get accomplished.
Well, it sounds like you need to have a person that insulates you between, like take one of the people and give them an honorary title. Hey, there's a problem. Okay, go talk to Joe Blow over there. Joe's going to handle that for you. All they want to do is be heard.
Yeah. But Good Time says it, Johnny. Easier said than done for sure. And I know as a 31-year-old punk myself, I'm sure I was stressed about shit that I didn't have control of. So the fact that you're accepting it, going, okay, I guess I can't deal with it. So good on you, Marty. That's awesome. So,
absolutely.
All right, brother, we'll get you out of here. Johnny, let's do a quick. I got a quick little topic I want to get to before we get to the creator spotlight, Johnny. And I know we both got to rock and roll, but I want to talk about why every man needs to do farmer carries. Marty, you gonna get out of here, hey, brother?
Yeah, I just wanted to hear what the topic was.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about farmer carries. You want to stick around for that? Or you got to rock and roll.
I got to rock and roll, but that's a good topic, man.
It is a good topic. I like farmer carries. Yes,
yeah. And I got to go at 15, brother. So I got 5 minutes.
Oh shit. Oh, real quick, the High Rocks race I'm doing at the end of March, they got farmer carries on there.
There you go.
There you go, Marty.
So damn. All right, man. All right, I'll see y'all tomorrow.
All right,
have a good loop, brother.
All right. Yep. Marty's gonna get out of here, and Johnny and Keith are gonna keep going here with Jimmy. We're gonna do the farmer carries topic, and then Johnny's gonna get out of here, and I'll close up the show with the community corner creator spotlight. But Johnny, why every man needs to do farmer carries, and I thought about you and AJ introduced me to this whole idea. And to those of you who are tuning in right now, the idea of a farmer, Carrie, is this whole idea of building raw strength, endurance, and grit. It's just literally picking up something heavy and walking. It's basic, but Johnny, it's grip strength. It's John, talk about the power and the functional purpose of why farmer carries are so important for us men.
Well, think about in your life, you carry so many things. You're carrying suitcases, you're carrying groceries, you carry all the shit that you carry. But so it's very functional, much like a squat or say even a deadlift.
Yes.
People tend to not like these things because they're not easy. But the thing that you got that you kind of touched on with the farmer's carry is it gives you the ability to kind of find a deeper place where you can push past. Because when the mind is telling you there's no more, I guarantee there's more. I mean, we used to train these all the time, and I would go and literally until it ripped out of my hands.
Yes.
And then what I would do on the next one, I would put straps on. So the point where that one was really tough, because at that point you just run out of air, you just collapse. But what I'm getting at is it gives you the platform to push yourself as a whole body deal. Your whole body is fatiguing all at once.
Yes. I wanted to talk about it today. I really wanted to talk about it with you because often when we talk about working out, we think about, bench press or squat or shoulder press, but the farmer carry is the ultimate real world strength exercise.
Yep.
And you don't even need a gym. Hey, Johnny,
no.
You can go and you pick up like milk.
Take a couple of suitcases and fill it up with dirt or sand, man. This is one of those things that anybody can do, but most people don't want to do it.
I know, but but again, why I want to emphasize it is because as we get older, man, and you want to lift your grandchild up over your head, do the shoulder press. As you get older, man, and you want to carry your children to the airport or go, with the suitcases, the farmer carry, as obscure and difficult as it is, it's one of those little collaborative things that if you do every single day, you're going to wake up as a 60, 70, 80-year-old man, functionally strong. It might be one of the most powerful daily functional exercises that we could do, Johnny. Would you not agree?
100%. Yeah. It's one of those things that will make you better very quickly.
Because there's no barrier to doing it. And that's there's zero barrier. It's picking something up. And what I also enjoy about it,
no matter where you are in your life, you can figure there's always something to pick up.
Yeah. What I liked about it when AJ was teaching me, Johnny, is that I would do it with with the bar where you had to balance the weight on each side. So you're kind of having to keep your core, you're having to keep balance. And then what I like about it too is that more often than not, it's going to fail. So you got to learn how to adapt to the failure. It is an exceptional exercise. And Amy talks about grocery bags, park far away, go back and forth. Like just the power of the farmer carry is such a wonderful. It is. It absolutely is huge. It's absolutely huge. So, all right, we got John Warner Laster coming in, very, very minuscule. Yes, I'm not sure. I lost your comment there, John. So let's come back more with that. But Johnny, I'm going to walk you out of here before I get to the creative spot, the community corner. What is on your agenda today? I love that I can feel your energy's back. I know you're maybe not at 100%, but I can sense yesterday when you talked, you were kind of like about 80. I'm sensing here you're kind of closer to 95, 96, brother.
Yeah, and what looking at Terry's had this thing for a while, and so I think what's probably going to happen is it's been hanging on. Yeah. My guess is that I'm just going to keep drifting between 80 and 95, but that's okay. I'm just going to. It's doesn't mean I'm going to stop. It just means some days I might be a little sharper than others, and today I'm starting off strong, baby.
There you go. I love it. All right, pal. Well, listen, I'll let you get out of here. Good morning, John Warner Laster from the comments, and good morning, Nicole Sittler joining us from Midlothian, Virginia. Nicole, you have joined a tariff-free morning show. No tariffs coming out of the lab this morning. You got myself, Keith Bilous, John Anderson, the only morning show for men. Mornings Lab with Keith and friends. We get up to help you guys get up and hit those big audacious goals. Johnny, you enjoy your day today, brother. I love your suggestion this morning. I'm going to take our topic of how to be intentional. We're going to break that down for the rest of the week so we can give our audience things how they can get after that. Okay, brother?
Powerful. I love it. Right on, brother. Have a good loop.
You too. All right. We'll talk to you later, buddy.
You got it.
Beautiful. All right. Jimmy, you and me are left, buddy. Johnny's getting out of here. You got Keith hanging out here in Mornings in Lab with Keith and friends with all of you. We got good time. We got Amy. We got John Warner. We got Nicole Sittler in the comments. What else we got here? We got we got Jeremy Cunningham. We got Rick Clody. We got the whole gang here showing up at the lab here this morning. So we have had a wonderful show. It's actually gone by much quicker than I thought, Jimmy. I got to be honest with you. I was like, I got a whole stack of topics to talk about, but we got through as much as we could, and we're going to keep rolling here. So let's get to Jimmy. Let's do the community corner, the creator spotlight. We like to take people in the LinkedIn community, the Substack community, X, Threads, Instagram, wherever we are, and we like to celebrate them. And for the last number of months, we've been spending most of our energy focusing on the community on LinkedIn, which is really where our home is, where we're growing this show. So we have somebody, Jimmy, I'm getting this all set up. We have somebody who's going to get my notes here, getting ready in front of me here. Give me 1 second here, guys, before we get that going here. We have somebody who is, no, let's do this here. All right. We have been conditioned to believe passion. Yeah, baby, passion. Passion's a luxury. Something you stumble upon if you're lucky. Something fleeting, reserved for artists. Yeah, I'm an artist. Yeah, fucking right, I'm an artist. Dreamers and outliers. But what if that belief was completely backward? What if it was? Well, the fellow we're going to celebrate today sees passion as a fundamental resource, as essential to human thriving as electricity or water. And in a world where there's tariffs, that electricity and water is much more expensive today. Yeah, true story. So today we are going to celebrate somebody who's built an entire operating system to harness all of this. We have a former SpaceX, baby, a former SpaceX technologist, a visionary entrepreneur, and the creator of, I'm going to tease it a little bit longer, Jimmy. We're going to tease it just a little bit longer. A revolutionary framework designed to upgrade human consciousness and unlock our highest creative potential. No, we're not here celebrating Uncle Keith this morning. Nope, we're not here celebrating the visionary entrepreneur that is Ted Turner, me. Yeah, true story. All joking aside. Nope. We are here, Jimmy. Let's get it ready, brother. Let's get the drum roll ready. We are here to celebrate this morning on Mornings in the Lab. Jimmy, get them both ready. Vertical feed and horizontal feed, please. We are here to celebrate the Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. Creator spotlight for this morning is Jeremy Lassman. Jeremy, what's shaking, brother? What is shaking, brother? We're here to celebrate you today. So Jeremy just doesn't talk about innovation. Nope, not at all. The guy actually embodies it. Yeah, I said actually. He actually takes innovation and embodies it himself. He wakes up, I'm innovative. From cutting edge research, my hands are all over the place today. It's funny, Lauren's like, yes, you stand because you talk so animated. Yes, I do. If I sit, I'm like, bap, 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 bap. Anyways, hey, so Jeremy doesn't just talk about innovation. Nope. From cutting edge research in human potential to pioneering, Amy, you're listening? To pioneering the Passion Company. Yeah, the Passion Company. He's proving that success isn't about grinding through fear-based survival. It's about tapping into clean, limitless energy, the kind that fuels evolution itself. For those that are stuck in cycles of burnout, frustration, or hollow achievements, Jeremy's work offers something radical, a new way that isn't about doing more, nation. It's about becoming more. Yes, because the future doesn't belong to the ones who simply work harder. Wait a minute. Hold the fucking horses, Jimmy. Hold the horses. Who wrote this script? Hold on. I'm just beside myself. What? The future doesn't belong to the ones who simply work harder? Okay, fuck, I'm out of here. See you guys. No, I thought the future was all about those that work harder. Jeremy's proving us all wrong, apparently. The future belongs to those bold enough to imagine something greater. And Jeremy Lassman is leading the way. There you go. Jeremy Lassman, we are celebrating you this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. And here's how it works, Jer. we like to have you in the lab because I'm going to suspect there's somebody in your orbit. Yeah, I said orbit, former SpaceX guy. Maybe Elon. Maybe you want to invite Elon into the lab. Say, Elon, we want to celebrate you. Or not. Jeremy, we'd love to have you in the lab. We'd love to take somebody in your orbit who you think is doing exceptional work. And I want to give you the mornings in the lab light. Crank it up real bright. Crank those lumens up, 3,500 lumens. And then shine that motherfucking light on the person and celebrate them. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to celebrate somebody in Jeremy Lassman's in orbit and make them the next Creator Spotlight. Mornings in the lab with Keith and friends. There you have it, Jimmy, Amy, Tommy, everybody. Jeremy Lassman, we're celebrating here on Mornings in the lab with Keith and friends. And yes, Amy, hashtag lift up. Hey, you guys need a good hashtag to get yourself through life. Amy, today's the day that I hope I'm encouraging you, girl, to embody that hashtag that you are subscribing to. Because if somebody's going to lift themselves up, it's going to be you. And I would encourage you to take that hashtag, knowing that the funk that you're in, and lift up somebody else in your orbit. That's the challenge I have for you today, Amy, because I suspect if you can find the courage within yourself to go lift somebody else up, it's going to lift you up as well. So there you go. Something to think about. Awesome. Yes. And Amy does own it. So to those of you that are in the States and Canada, I'd encourage you quickly go register that hashtag because there's going to be a tariff on it pretty soon. Yeah, true story. All right. Okay, let's get out of here, Jimmy. I think we'll get out of here. I think it's time to get the show on the road. Oh, every pun intended. We had a good show here today. Like I said, we talked about how to be intentional as you get through your life. We talked about not drinking soda water to lose weight because there's not just one magic bullet to lose weight. And we talked tariffs. We talked a lot of fun things on the show. Most importantly, we talked about getting after it at the start of the month, which is February. Today, the brand new loop, kicked after it. And hey, guys, I'll leave this with you. It's February 3rd today. Yeah, I'm dating the show. Before you know, it's going to be February 10th. Here's what I hate about weekends. I'm sorry, that new month start on a weekend. Before you know it, the whole month is over, right? Because we had February 1st on the Friday/Saturday, whatever it was. Before you know it, 7 days. Like right now, it's actually February. In my mind, it's February 10th. That's how my mind works. Because the next 7 days, actually, if there's anything I can offer you guys, is what I'm saying to you right now. Absolutely, unequivocally, the next 7 days are going to happen. You can't get away from them. So if you're not thinking that it's already February 10th, you're losing. True story. You're already in reactive phase. So be thinking about being proactive because before you know it, it's already March 1st. As a matter of fact, it's actually March 1st. So I invite you to think about it that way, nation, as we get on with our day. Jimmy, should we rock and roll, pal? Let's see here. Let me see your comments here coming at me. Yeah, we're going to get out of here for the day. We're going to be back here tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Let's see. What do we have on the agenda tomorrow? Tomorrow on the show, it is going to be a show about Jimmy. Let's see here. Tomorrow's show, nation, is, it's funny. I got all these screens open and sometimes you just can't get to the right screen at the right time. So tomorrow's show is From Rejection to Connection, the follow-up playbook. Adam House is joining us tomorrow, you guys. And listen, if you guys hate following up, well, why? Because you're reacting, you're losing. Following up is the number one key to moving forward. Most people hate, most people don't follow up. So if you're following up, you're already better than the person over there. And we talked about reacting or being proactive. If you're following up, you're being proactive, which means you're winning. If you're not following up, you're probably following up because you're losing, which is being reactive. So tomorrow, we're going to get into the power of following up and why it's important. And we're going to revisit the hows of today's conversation about how to live an intentional life and give you guys some things to think about. Scott Benz, you're right, man. No Tariff Tuesday. Mornings in Live with Keith and friends. This show will never have tariffs. Nope. No tariffs. And Trump, Mr. President, you want to come talk about tariffs? I invite you to the lab to have a conversation with Uncle Keith. Can you imagine, guys, if it happened? Yeah. Ring, ring. Yes, hello. Hey, Keith, it's Donald Trump. Can we talk on the show about tariffs? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Uncle Keith will bring it out with you guys. Okay. All right. We're going to go. 25 minutes after the second hour, I got a lift to get into. I got some work I got to do. We got people bring on board, and we got a brand. Yeah, let's get out of here. Jimmy, I'm going to turn this up. Yeah, that's it. Listen, everybody, on behalf of me, your old Uncle Keith, on behalf of Scott Benzie, Amy Riner, John Warner Laster, on behalf of Good Time, on behalf of Jimmy, on behalf of Tommy, on behalf of Jeremy Cunningham, Rick Clody. Rick, I'm still working on the last name. On behalf of everybody that woke up to join me, John, Marty, and the whole gang this morning at Mornings Lab with Keith and Friends, I'm grateful. We'll see you guys tomorrow right here in the lab. Listen, connect to me. Come find me on LinkedIn. Come find me on Threads. Come find me on Instagram. We're doing more work behind the scenes with the old Instagram meta glasses. I love them, by the way. Game changer. Game motherfucking changer. So see you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Let's get after it. And yeah, John Warner, cat needs to go for a walk. Love your show. Just popped in. Have a great week. Thanks, John. Subscribe to the channel. #lift up. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Mornings in the lab with Keith and Friends.